Let's get one thing straight. Your words are not your allies. They aren't on your team. No, they're witnesses. Witnesses to your deepest insecurities, and they testify against you every single day. See, most people live under the delusion that communication is about what you say. It's not. It's about what you signal. This is Unspoken Rules, the place we pull back the curtain on the harsh psychological truths that actually run your life. And today, we're putting the sickness of your own words under a microscope. So why do they betray you? How does this happen? Well, the answer is hiding in plain sight. It's a behavior so common, so normal, you don't even see it. Over-explaining. You think you're being clear, right? You think you're being helpful or thorough. But what you're really doing is you're holding up a giant neon sign that broadcasts your insecurity to the entire world. And this isn't some quirky little habit. Let's call it what it is. It's a deep psychological sickness that quietly, systematically erodes your power, your authority, and any trust people might have had in you, all with every extra unnecessary word you speak. And make no mistake about what this is. This has nothing to do with exchanging information. This is about threat perception. That feeling you get, that little anxious urge to just add one more sentence to make sure they really get it, that's your nervous system in panic mode. It's anticipating that you'll be misunderstood, that there will be conflict, that you'll be rejected. Your words become this desperate, clumsy attempt to control the outcome, to defend your position before anyone has even attacked it. It's just a symptom of a much, much deeper problem. And here's the beautiful irony of it all. This obsessive need you have to control the situation, it actually makes you lose all control. You think you sound prepared, but you just signal deep uncertainty. You're trying to build trust, but all you're doing is introducing doubt. And there's a scientific reason for this. It's called the over-justification effect. It's a cognitive bias where, essentially, if you give way too many reasons for doing something simple, the other person's brain just subconsciously assumes your real reason must be incredibly weak. So all your hard work, all those extra words, they just make your credibility absolutely plummet. So, if you ever want to stop this pattern of self-sabotage, you first have to understand where it really comes from. This isn't just some simple communication flaw you can fix with a weekend course. No, this is a learned survival strategy. So we're going to move past the symptom now. It's time for the diagnosis. It's time to look at the hidden wound that's driving this whole behavior. A lot of the time, over-explaining is what psychologists call a fawn response. Think of it as a kind of vocal armor that you were forced to forge back in childhood. I mean, if you grew up in a house where just being misunderstood could lead to a serious punishment, or maybe having affection withdrawn, you learned a lesson, and you learned it fast. You learned that exhaustive, preemptive clarity was safety. Your young nervous system got programmed with a very simple, very desperate equation. If I explain everything perfectly, I will be safe. The child thinks, if I can just find the perfect words to explain this, maybe this time I won't get hurt.
I want you to look at this table. It's not just data. It's a mirror. So which side do you see yourself on? On the left, you have the psychology of real confidence. The motivation is just clarity. When there's silence, it's comfortable. The locus of control is internal. It's solid. Now, look at the other side. That's the psychology of fear. The motivation isn't clarity, it's threat reduction. Silence isn't comfortable, it's terrifying. It's a void that has to be filled. And the control? It's all external. It completely depends on successfully managing someone else's reaction. One side understands that no is a complete sentence. The other side is desperately asking, have I said enough yet to earn my safety?
And this isn't just in your head, it's in your wiring. Think of your brain as having two different drivers at the wheel. You've got the amygdala, that's your primal alarm system. It's the part that just screams danger at the slightest hint of a social threat. Then you have the prefrontal cortex, which is supposed to be the calm, rational CEO. Well, in people who over-explain, that alarm in the amygdala is basically stuck in the on position, and the poor CEO is completely exhausted from running crisis simulations 24/7. So your words aren't multiplying because you choose them to. They're multiplying because your entire system is in a constant state of emergency. But here's the thing. This internal state of emergency, it doesn't happen in a vacuum. It gets amplified and frankly exploited by the brutal, unspoken reality of social hierarchy. Because every single word you speak isn't just a word. It's a signal. It's a signal of your rank. And this is where this sickness either becomes a sad strategy for survival or a powerful tool for dominance. In any social hierarchy, communication falls into these very predictable patterns. People at the bottom, they often explain just to survive, They're seeking approval, trying to stay out of trouble. Then you have the middle status strivers. These are the people who are anxious about their position, and they engage in what we call conspicuous signaling. They use jargon, they're constantly correcting themselves, they give exhaustive detail, they over-explain to try and prove their worth. But the people at the very top, the true elite, they do the exact opposite. They counter-signal. They show everyone how powerful they are by saying less. Counter-signaling is the ultimate power move. You've seen it. It's the billionaire CEO who shows up in a simple hoodie and jeans. It's the certified genius with messy, barely legible handwriting. They have absolutely nothing to prove. Their status is so secure, so locked in, that any obvious attempt to signal it would actually cheapen it. They show their confidence by refusing to even play the game. And that is the lesson here. True authority doesn't need to shout. Heck, it doesn't even need to speak. And get this signaling goes way beyond your words. It goes down to the very sound of your voice. The research here is absolutely unequivocal. Humans use their voices to signal dominance and submission all the time. Studies show that when people talk to someone they see as higher status, they unconsciously raise the pitch of their voice. It's a submissive signal, like an animal showing its belly. And on the flip side, a deep or a deepening vocal pitch is one of the primary signals of dominance. Your own voice is betraying your perceived rank in the hierarchy before you can even finish a sentence. Okay, so if words are the symptom of this whole sickness, what's the cure? How do you start to reclaim all the authority that you just give away so freely? Well, the answer lies in mastering the most misunderstood and by far the most powerful tool in all of human communication: silence. Seriously, think about that for a second. Imagine you're in a tough negotiation, a heated argument, some high-pressure situation. What is the single most powerful statement you can make? What words could you possibly use to convey ultimate confidence and absolute control? Just take a moment. What is it? The most powerful thing you can say is nothing at all. See, silence is not an absence. It's not a void. It is a weapon. And in any interaction, the person who can stay comfortable with it almost always wins. Strategic silence is an active offensive tool. Let me break it down. 1. When you ask a question and then just shut up, the pressure immediately shifts to the other person. 2. People cannot stand a vacuum. They become so uncomfortable that they rush to fill the silence, and in doing so, they almost always reveal information they never meant to. 3. It slows everything down, which prevents you from making a stupid, impulsive, emotionally driven mistake. And 4, most importantly, it signals unshakable confidence. It says, I am so comfortable in my position, I don't feel any need to rush and defend it. Now, understanding all of this intellectually is one thing, but actually applying it when you're under pressure, that is a whole other beast. To truly master this, you have to go beyond just theory. You have to literally rewire the circuits in your brain that trigger that impulse to over-explain in the first place. You know that feeling when you get triggered? Your brain is experiencing something called an amygdala hijack. Your primal survival brain basically kicks the door down, floods your system with panic hormones, and locks your rational mind in the closet. That desperate urge to talk and explain and justify, that's just your primal brain screaming, trying to negotiate its way out of what it thinks is an attack. But here's the good news. There is a circuit breaker. And this isn't theory, this is a training exercise. This is how you rewire your brain, step by step. Step 1, recognize it. You have to learn to feel that jolt of anxiety, that physical urge to start justifying. Step 2, pause. Just stop. Create space. Take a breath. This is the moment you break the old circuit. Step 3, state your point. Clearly and concisely. No apology, no justification. And then, step 4, this is the hardest part. You embrace the silence that follows. You let your words land and just hold that space. That is the exact moment the power shifts back to you. And this is the crucial point I want you to walk away with. The pause, it is not empty space. It is the command center. It is the moment you shift from being a puppet of your own biology to being the master of your response. It is the literal space where you take back control. So now you have it. You understand this sickness, you have the diagnosis, and you've been given the cure. You can now see how your words were programmed by your past and how they are being used to signal your status right here in the present. You have the tools to change everything. The only question that's left now is a choice. So are you going to continue to let your unconscious patterns undermine your authority day after day? Or are you going to decide to wake up? The choice, as always, is yours. You can stay comfortable in the dark, or you can hit that subscribe button and join the people who are committed to seeing reality as it truly is. We'll see you on the inside.